Job hopping. I don't know if you were in or you were going to be in the talk with Peter, he would have told you that job hopping is something that recruiters look for. Now, when we talk about job hopping, we're talking about the fact that if I see on your CV that you have changed jobs many, many times in a short period of time, that tells me a couple of things. It tells me, one, that you're probably not very committed and that you were using those jobs as stepping stones, right? For me as a recruiter, that's a red flag, okay? Because it's telling me that if I put you in my client's company, in 2 months' time, if you get a better offer, right? So we have to be intentional about the jobs that we take, all right, to a certain degree. Now, however, on the flip side of that, when you do become a professional, when you've been in a job for a long period of time, I would say anything between 2, 3, and maybe even 5 years, it's probably a strategic opportunity for you to move, especially when you're in the start of your career. The reason, what's the reason that I would say that? Anybody hazard a guess?
I think the experience will speak out loud. You've been exposed to the market or the environment, so you can probably do better.
Exactly, right? So it's about exposure. Getting to experience lots of different things in different organizations gives you the opportunity to build your career and to build your transferable skills. Okay, I'm going to talk about transferable skills later. So a lot of people strategically job hop, right? Because you get out, if you have a situation where you, for example, have been in the same position for the last 10 years, you're still the junior accountant for the last 10 years. Do you think that's a CV I'm going to want to look at for a finance manager? Okay, right. So it's about strategic change, right? So it's about making sure that if you as a professional, if you're in a position and you're not growing, you're not being given more opportunities, you're not being given more responsibility, that's a time to make a strategic change and a shift. We see it all the time in Zambia where people will move for 100 kwacha increase on salary. I'm not joking. They will move for 100 kwacha. I can tell you guys, money is never a good reason to leave a job. Okay, there must be other things, right? Money is a very important element. I'm not trying to say that everybody must just forgo the money. No. But there has to be more. There has to be a bigger and a better reason. All right? I cannot tell you the number of times that people have moved in recruitment only for the money, and they discover that that job that they've taken was not the one that they thought it was. Right? So take that little piece there. Downsizing your network. Every day, and I know probably even on the panel, there was discussion at some point about networking, right? You're at an event here about networking, right? Here, this entire room is an opportunity for you to network, right? 2 things very important about networking. 1, downsizing your network, all right? Look for quality connections over quantity, yeah? Okay. If everybody here wants to be in a conservation career, right, this was a great opportunity for you to make a lot of connections in the conservation field, right? Also, never, ever, ever dismiss a connection, right? Even if somebody is a youngster or they're junior to you or any of the above, never dismiss that connection. I'll give you a prime example. When I was younger, I met with an HR person who was, I was looking for a job, and I met with an HR manager. I sat across the desk from this person, and instantaneously, this person decided that I was female, I was young, and I was white. As far as he was concerned, no interest. He didn't even listen. He asked me the questions in the interview, but he didn't even listen to my responses, right? Fast forward 5 years, that same HR manager walked into my boardroom, my office, where I was on the interview panel. And this is a very senior person, okay? It's not a wire. All right, trust me, this world is small, all right? Never discard the connections that you could make. Never be rude to other people, especially in a professional context. You never know. All right? Okay. Downsizing. Quality connection often brings more opportunity. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to create that quality connection, okay? Taking a pay cut. Sometimes taking a lower paying job in a new industry or a startup can be a strategic move to gain experience and open doors to higher paying roles later on. So this is one of the things that I mentioned. If you have been a junior accountant for 10 years, right? And a startup comes along and they're giving you the opportunity, for example, to be the finance manager in that startup, but the money is about the same or not as much. Don't look that gift horse in the mouth, right? Startups and SMEs are the backbone of this country. Don't let anybody tell you different. All right? So taking that pay cut, and I'm not asking you to take a pay cut so that you have to go back and live with your mom. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, be aware of the fact that an opportunity in a smaller organization, in a more senior position for less money, might be a really good strategic career move. Yeah? Gives you the opportunity and to be exposed, especially in startups. The reason I say that is because startups are of the nature that individuals who work in startups, often they'll end up being the accountant, the HR manager, the marketing manager, the sales manager, the business development manager. Those of you who have side hustles, tell me that that's not all your job. Right? Okay. So, just to be aware of that. Next, work less. I'm sure you guys have always all heard that saying, work smarter, not harder. It's true. Right? This is the 21st century. We want to have jobs that we enjoy, right? We want to be in careers that are meaningful and impactful, but also make us a little bit of money, but that's beside the point. Okay? So working smarter and not harder it's life, guys, especially for those of you that are probably older professionals. When you get into the professional field, take a look out for this and be in a position where if you're entering into the job market, make sure that you're demanding that of the organizations that are hiring you. Okay? We're no longer living in the world where we just take a job for a job, right? Okay, we want to be sure that we're demanding to work in environments that we actually want to work in. Again, guys, 8 hours a day. It's personal. All right? Okay. Know what you don't want to do. How many of you here know what you want to do for a living? Your dream, what I want to do one big day. What do you want to do?
Write.
You want to write. Awesome, I love it. Sorry, say again? Advocacy and policy work, I like it. Like it.
On my own business.
Okay, awesome. So the people that offered me that insight, what don't you want to do? Think of all the careers and all the jobs in the world. I don't mean to be mean to them, but probably the accountants. I'm teasing.
What I don't want to do is find myself in a space that is restrictive or maybe working on my own ideas and developing them.
Okay, got you. Awesome. So that's about environment and culture, right? So if he knows that, it's probably not the best idea to go and decide that he's going to work for a big corporate bank. Right? They got rules. He'd be perfect in a startup environment. What about for you? What don't you want to do?
I don't want to do anything that's health-related.
Nothing health-related. Awesome.
I want.
You don't want.
What I don't want
Mm-hmm.
is I don't want anyone limiting me on my time. So I've seen that business-minded people have got a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't want people to limit my time.
Got you.
I want to work for someone.
Got you. Like it. What about you? I want to become an Instagram influencer. Great. We don't need more doctors or nurses or, physicians or physicists. No, we need more Instagram influencers. That's what we need. Okay. So guys, knowing what you don't want to do, just as important as what you do want to do. Okay? Especially those of you who are still trying to figure it out. First of all, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all right. You'll figure it out. Okay. Diversifying your skills. Rather than becoming a specialist in a narrow area, consider broadening your skill set. We talked about that before, right? Taking up some opportunities to have a broad amount of general experience. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about skills, right? I'm not talking about specific positions, okay? I'm not talking about being a manager or a this or a that, right? I'm talking about the different skills that you would learn. I mentioned before, if you don't have any financial understanding, right? It's not, you can't be in business, right? You have to have some level of financial understanding. If you don't know how to use the basic Microsoft suite, PowerPoint, Excel, etc., you're in the wrong place. Okay, you have to have those basic skills. Volunteering for challenging or unpopular tasks at work can lead to recognition and skill development, right? Nobody wants to, at PRI for example, nobody wants to save the 3,000 CVs that Peter's going to receive today, right? But our intern who's working with us, that's going to be part of her role. She's going to be saving those CVs. And in doing, she's creating a massive, massive ability to process and understand data. Get it? Menial jobs, but they're amazing what they can do for you. All right? Cool. Self-assessments and goal setting. So if you guys take out your phones and you open your cameras, you should be able to scan this. For those of you who are a little bit far back, you can help your friends out. So, understanding your strengths and your weaknesses helps you make informed career decisions. In this tool, you'll find a list of different types of self-assessments that you can do online. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, right? Understanding what you can and cannot do in terms of your skills assessment is vital. Okay, so make sure that you understand what your skills actually are, right? And then go ahead and figure out, if I want to go in this direction, what skills do I need to improve on? Yeah? Okay. Setting SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals provide clarity and direction. Okay. You guys are going to hear this SMART goal thing throughout your entire professional careers. It's the most annoying thing that anybody has ever come up with, ever. But it's also very, very useful. Okay. So, let's set a specific goal. Who's got a goal that they want to achieve, that they're willing to share with the group? A goal for themselves.
Write a book.
Write a book. I like it. Cool. I'm going to go with this example here because I've chatted to you. Go ahead.
To plant 700 hectares of trees.
700 hectares of trees.
Yes, by the end of Agenda 2063.
I like it. Okay. So, first of all, it's specific, right? You heard that? 700 trees? Specific. Hectares. Hectares, yeah, sorry. 700 hectares. Okay, is it measurable? Can you measure her success?
Yes.
Right? Pretty simple. Are there, or by the time the goal comes to an end, are there or are there not 700 hectares? Yes, no. Right? Okay. Is it achievable?
Yes.
I didn't hear that. I feel like there's not enough conservationists. Is it achievable?
Yes.
Hey, I like it. Okay. Is it relevant?
Yes.
Why is it relevant? To Zambia. Not you. You're not allowed to answer. Why is it relevant? Why is planting trees relevant to Zambia? I heard it.
Deforestation.
Zambia has one of the highest deforestation rates in the world. World! Exclamation. Not Africa. Not Southern Africa. The world. Okay, let's be serious. All right. And it's time-bound, right? She's given herself a date. So do we understand how we set SMART goals? Okay. Goals without objectives are just dreams. When was the last time you tried to eat a dream? I'm just saying. Okay. What's the difference between personal and professional development goals? So when we talk about personal and professional development, we're creating that separation between what is valuable to us as a person and what is valuable to us as a professional. A lot of the time they go hand in hand, right? But it's also very important to appreciate that, especially if you work for other people, sometimes not the same thing. So your professional goal can be in line with the way that a company is going, even if it doesn't exactly come in line with your personal goal, right? It's the same thing about taking a slightly less paying job for the sake of the experience and the exposure. Yeah? Make sense? So even if in your personal goal is to earn more money, your professional goal might be a little bit different. Yeah? Development goals. So if you have to take a pay cut in a startup to be exposed to financial management, for example, right? If you've been in marketing your entire career, but now you're moving into a field like with a startup and you're getting the opportunity to work on finance, on HR, on anything like that, data, you name it. It might not be part of your personal, but it's good for your professional. All right, so just keep that in mind. Okay, networking and building relationships. So we all know that networking opens doors to new opportunities, information, and support. Guys, information is power, right? So if you have an opportunity to sit down in front of somebody who can offer you really, really good, solid information about everything, take it. Downstairs, you guys would have all been talking about sending in your CVs, applying to the organizations. But did any of you take a second to realize that you were talking to someone who's followed a similar career path to what you are probably hoping to do? There's a source of information right there, right? Okay. Effective networking. Attending events, this is a great opportunity to network amongst your peers. Using LinkedIn, I know Mr. Yangeni, who was up there earlier, he was probably, I'm sure, asking everybody how many of you were following LinkedIn, how many were on LinkedIn. In Zambia and in Africa as a whole, just for your interest, the online community and the recruitment process online is still quite small. However, it's gaining a rapid pace. So if you are not on there, if you're not updating, if you're not interacting, missing out. And it's free, right? Free. So, LinkedIn, okay? And offering value to your connections, okay? That connects to this one at the bottom. Building and maintaining professional relationships. The importance of reciprocity and maintaining relationships over time. What do I mean by reciprocity? A big, nice, fancy word. Reciprocity. Anybody want to hazard a guess? Yeah?
Basically that's from reciprocating, where if somebody does something for you, basically you return that energy.
Amen. Okay. So, for example, the example I gave earlier about me being in the HR meeting where the HR manager was very rude to me when I was a young professional. How different would it have been if they had come into that room where I was on the panel and it had been a good experience for me, even if I didn't get the job, right? Even if I didn't get the job at the time. If they had treated me as somebody who was an equal and also just a young professional, if they had come into that room, I want you guys to know, by the way, I didn't influence the decision because of the way he treated me. Okay, I'm a big girl. I can put on my big girl trousers and I was ready. All right, but his face was great. It was awesome watching his face just. Okay, I did enjoy it, but I didn't let that affect the process. Okay, but my point is that networking. People often think that networking is one direction. What can I get from you? But remember, let's be honest, Zambia, it's a small town, where? It's a small town. So we have to be willing to reciprocate, right? We live in a culture where if you do for me, I do for you. I am because you are, right? Okay, so the same for networking. And when we talk about the quality of our networks, you know that your network is quality when you can reciprocate. Okay. Even if you feel like, but Emma, I'm still in university, I don't know anything, I don't know anyone, that's rubbish. Okay? You officially know every single person in this room. Your network is bigger than you think it is. All right? Make use of that opportunity. Yeah? Reach out, brothers, cousins, uncles, aunts, you name it. We have a colleague in our office. We tease her all the time. She's our admin manager, but we call her the shushushu. Okay? Because she can find a contact anywhere through her network. Okay? So don't underestimate it, and make sure that you reciprocate. Right? If you don't get a job, for example, or you see a job on a website, on GoJobs or on the PRI page or wherever, and you know that you're not qualified for that, but that friend that you met the other day at the Conservation Careers Fair, they'd be perfect for that. Pass it on. Yeah? People remember. Okay? Always, forever. I will never, ever forget. How many years are we now? 7 years later, that experience that I had with that HR manager, right? People remember. Reciprocate. Okay. Career advancement strategies. We talked about it already. Setting clear goals, yeah? Remember what I said? A goal without objectives, just a dream, and you can't eat those. All right. Set career goals and seek mentorship. Okay. I'm going to talk a bit more about mentoring and coaching. Mentors and coaches can provide guidance and accelerate your career progression. Again, I am because you are. Those of us who are professionals already, remember, if you're in an advanced stage of your career or even just making a change, don't forget about reverse mentoring. Reverse mentoring is a relatively new concept in the management world, but all in all, what it means is that if you are a junior person in the organization, you've had a full life up until that point, right? You're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you have 20 years of life experience. So even if I'm senior to you, you still have experience to share and to educate me with. Yeah? Always look for those opportunities. For example, if you have a younger sister that has a job, or a younger brother or a cousin or whoever, people that are already in the working space, right? That's an opportunity to say to them, so, like, what is it like actually working, right? What do your bosses look for? What makes you a good professional, right? Reverse coaching and reverse mentoring is a thing, and it's extremely effective, all right? So I don't want to hear any of this, oh, but I'm just in university. You've survived this long. It's evidence enough. Okay, especially with COVID. COVID came to try and capture all of us, and yet here we are. Okay. Leadership development. Consider the importance of developing leadership skills, even if you're not in a management role yet. Now, I want to make a very important point about leadership. Leadership is something that everybody thinks that they want. Everybody wants to be the manager. Okay, but I want to tell you two very important things about leadership. One, it's lonely at the top. Okay? Don't forget that. You have to make hard decisions all the time. 10 minutes? Okay. I'll buzz through. Okay. So just remember that leadership skills, regardless of where you are in your role, developing leadership skills from the beginning is very important. It's not a leadership course. Not the same thing. Take your time to observe the people around you that you consider good leaders, and understand what about them makes them a good leader and what doesn't make them a good leader. People are flawed, and that's okay. Yeah? Create a career plan. If you go onto Google and you type in career plan, hundreds of them will come up. Options, templates that you can use to fill out information. All right. Overcoming the challenges. So, common challenges of career development is the job market fluctuations. I know it's difficult, guys, but it's going to come right. The right job is out there for you. Work-life balance, remember I talked to you about it. Make sure that you're asking for the work environment that you want, right? Your work environment has a lot to do with your success in your general career. I've included here some career resources. These are books, links, skills assessments, websites, opportunities for you to be able to learn a little bit more. They're in a form structure. So if you just read through, you can highlight and Google and put things into there. Okay, so there's a couple of career resources there.